The stocks were hollow, and a wooden stick could be inserted as a handle. Some hand cannons had a series of hoops from head to tail to stabilize the main part of the body. The bowl and calyx Huochongs got their names from the shapes of their barrels. In terms of their structure, they were basically the same as the hand cannons. The only difference was that they were shorter and held more projectiles. The use of the Huochong soon spread in the battlefields, displaying unrivaled power. However, while the powerful weapon struck enemies out of their wits, it also made users scared too. When cannons were first used in battle, the soldiers who fired them had one overriding fear: that they might explode in their midst. It was bad enough that the smoke of the gunpowder would get into their eyes, but what really made them keep their distance was the fear of injury if they got too close to the cannon stock. Yet few in-bore explosions ever took place. So how were they prevented? During the reign of the Ming Emperor Wanli, at the end of the 16th and the beginning of the 17th centuries, in the fight against the Mongolian army, General Qi Jiguang and his troops commonly used an early form of mortar called the Crouching Tiger catapult, with thin barrels and a short range. It was ideal for use on mountainous terrain since it could launch a missile at a high degree of elevation, just as modern mortars can do. However, in the early days, it was prone to in-bore explosions. Seeing the Huochongs reduced to a heap of scraps due to in-bore explosions and many soldiers wounded, Qi Jiguang fell into deep thought one day. He then ordered ironsmiths to improve the raw materials and gunpowder masters to grope for new methods. However, an accidental discovery changed the fate of in-bore explosion fire barrels. The Qi's army used oil-soaked tissue paper to wrap up the powder in fixed proportions. It turned out to be very effective in preventing in-bore explosions.
当那些火器进来的时候，他们在炸弹方面也有考虑，一个就是要铁要精、铜要精，这个减少铸造的那个次品，编号比较均匀，然后有一部分加强的注估，另外就是一定的装药量，发射多重的弹丸，就是要装多重的火药多少量的火药，这个也是严格的，不是随意的。
The Huochong, if examined carefully, can be seen to have holes on both sides of its wide stock. They were for wooden sticks to pass through, which would keep it in position on a wooden shelf. The bowl Huochongs mounted on wooden shelves on board ships were capable of firing a broadside against an enemy. Wooden wedges could be inserted underneath to increase the stability and adjust the angle of elevation. Besides the innovative structural design, the weapons also incorporated a number of clever small details. For example, the touch hole had a movable lid and spoon. Beside the opening was a rectangular pan for storing the gunpowder. The movable lid would help keep the gunpowder clean and dry. Chinese armies, through their westward advances, carried their firearms to Arabia and then onwards to Europe. The Arabs were the first to learn the firearm manufacturing technology from China. They used these weapons in their wars with the Europeans. In their turn, Europeans also discovered how to mix gunpowder and make firearms. So it was that firearms made their appearance on fields of battle across Europe, instituting a major change in the course of European and world history.
火铳的发明导致了1号的战争进入了火器时代，真正进入了火器时代，它是枪炮的祖先。火铳经过西方近代科学革命和工业革命的引导，在西方的战争史上成了很重要的一个主角，经历了很大的发展。
By the end of the 19th century, Europe had assumed the leading position in weapons manufacture in the world. Although China was the inventor of firearms, it fell behind as the times went on. It was then that Zhang Zhidong, Viceroy of Huochong in China, brought in technology and engineers from overseas and established the Hanyang Iron Works. The Hanyang Iron Works was established in Wuhan, Hubei province in 1891. At its peak, his factory was unrivaled as the leading iron and steel maker in Asia and employed more than 50 experts from countries including the United Kingdom, Belgium, Luxembourg, and Germany.
这个清朝末年，湖广总督张之洞在湖北大力推行新政，练新军、兴实业、办教育、修铁路、发展武汉商务，开拓市政建设，这个全方位的奠定了武汉的 早期现代化的物质基础，使武汉呢驾湖金门，直追沪上，成为仅次于上海的第2大中心城市，因此，当年日本的巨汉领事水野信吉称之为东方的芝加哥。
The Hanyang Iron Works and Hanyang Arsenal, formerly Hubei Arsenal, formed the first enterprise to integrate iron and steel making and weapons manufacture in China. The enterprise's successes in reviving China's munitions industry was based on adopting Chinese learning in basic guidance combined with Western learning for practical purposes. The Hanyang Iron Works Museum presents a history of weapons making in China, from gunpowder to the Huochong and the Hanyang rifle. The Hanyang Iron Works, by introducing a number of technical improvements, the Huochongs succeeded in producing a series of modern artillery pieces and rifles. Like the Huochong before it, the Hanyang rifle also demonstrated how the application of Chinese ingenuity led to breakthroughs in weapons manufacture. The iron for the cannons and rifles was all produced by the Hanyang Iron Works itself. The Hubei Arsenal, under the management of the Hanyang Iron Works, produced 7.92 centimeter Type 88 Mauser rifles, as an improvement on the German single-shot M1871 and M1871-84 rifle. The original rifle had a sleeve 0.5 millimeters away from the barrel to prevent burning the hands of the rifleman. The production of double-barrel rifles presented some unique difficulties. The sleeve had to be omitted, and the outer casing of the barrel had to be enlarged. Finally, wooden protection was added to the barrel to protect the hands of the rifleman. Smokeless powder and metal casings used in the Hanyang rifle were cutting-edge technologies in the world. However, even in an economically well-off country like the United States, single-shot rifles with black powder bullets were still the mainstream at that time.
汉阳造应当说在中国的近代史上具有重要的地位，几乎是无虞不遇，所有的重大战役他都参与了。我们首都的人民英雄纪念碑有10幅浮雕，其中有4幅浮雕上，我们就可以看到汉阳造的身影。一个是我们的辛亥革命，武昌首义用的就是汉阳造；南昌起义、抗日战争、解放战争都是用的汉阳造。此外还有我们北伐战争，抗美援朝也用过汉阳造。
Gradually, it became known as the Hanyang rifle and was one of the main weapons used by the Chinese army during the Second Sino-Japanese War. As for another weapon widely used in that war, the Mauser 7.62mm pointed nose rifle, it was not only far more deadly than the Japanese 38th year rifle, it was also shorter and more portable. At the start of the Korean War in 1950, the Chinese People's Volunteer Army used a wide variety of Mausers, including the Zhangzheng rifle. These weapons could hardly compare with the advanced American weaponry, yet they helped the Chinese Army write a glorious chapter in the country's history. The Hanyang Ironworks Museum presents a history of weapons making in China. The exhibits, from the reproduction cannons to the iron pillars, piers, arches, and so on, all serve to reveal in vivid terms the culture and wisdom inherent in weapons developed in China. The emergence of the Huochong was a turning point in the transition from cold weapons to firearms. It marked an epoch-making leap forward in weapons manufacture. All around the world, firearms would play a role in changing the course of history.